What's going on today, guys? I'm Messiah here. We're going to go ahead and start. Going to go over the predictions and breakdowns of all the UFC Fight Night cards and the Netflix Gina Carano Ronda Rousey event and the prelims of that as well. I'm going to go through a quick breakdown of the prelims of this card as well. We're going to break down all the fights, prelims, and main cards, and betting odds and predictions for all these fights and my breakdowns and what I believe is going to happen. We're going to go ahead and start with this Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano main event. I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey on this one. I'm a big Gina Carano fan. I hope she finds success in the department of MMA in this because I'm a big Gina Carano fan. She's just a nice person overall. She's, been champion in other promotions. But overall, I think Rousey is going to be. She has a size advantage over Ronda Rousey, but as far as skill for skill, Ronda Rousey's fought higher level competition. She's fought in the UFC for years. She's younger, closer to prime. She's fought more recently than Gina Carano. Gina Carano has been out for a while. This is going to be her first fight in so fucking long. Maybe she comes out hungry and gives Ronda Rousey a good fight and can beat her ass. That'd be great for the fucking sport because Carano could be a far more like a much better representative than Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's got a fucking shit ass attitude. Gina Carano is actually a nice person and very, very attractive. So hopefully I'm rooting for Gina Carano, but Rousey's probably going to smush her, sub her, maybe around 3 or 4, something like that. And Mike Perry's going to beat the dog shit out of Nate Diaz here. Mike Perry's boxing's more crisp. He's fought more recently than Nate Diaz. I believe Nate Diaz is going to take a boxing heavy approach. He could use his jiu-jitsu. He probably is better trained jiu-jitsu than Mike Perry. But Mike Perry's the BKFC king. He's fought boxing matches. He looked good in them all, except for the Logan Paul matchup. We're not going to talk about that, but he still looks good. I think he was paid to take that fight off. But I think Nate Diaz is going to fight fucking stupid here, and Mike Perry's going to beat his ass because he's way bigger than him. Has fought better level competition more recently, has boxed more, and has fought in not in MMA more recently, but BKFC. And this is going to be a fanfare fight because they both have a shit ton of scar tissue on their faces. And they're just going to beat each other's ass probably in the boxing, and they're probably going to piece each other up a little bit. And it's probably going to be a 2 or 3 round war where Perry ends up like TKOing him against the cage. Might go cold. Don't know. Diaz does have a pretty decent chin, but he can't take much more damage at his age. So I got Mike Perry. I got Mike Perry by TKO 3rd or 4th round. I hope Diaz comes out and fights smart. Maybe he can use his jujitsu. But Diaz doesn't really have jujitsu like that's or wrestling like that where he can hold people down, especially people much bigger like Mike Perry. You know what I mean? And this is not the Nate Diaz of old where he can take knockdowns, take people down to the ground, sub them. Like Nate Diaz is probably frail and old by now, especially with all the damage he's taken over his career and infinite CTE. Speaking of CTE, Felipe Lins is going to get fucking slimed out in the first round by Francis Ngannou. This is a no. This is kind of a no-brainer. Um, yeah, Ngannou is way better than Felipe. Felipe is not even fought in the UFC. Francis Ngannou was literally a UFC fucking champion. This is a Bellator 1 scrub, like unranked competitor in like an MMA promotion. This is the highest level MMA champion, even though he's older. He's going to fucking slime out Felipe Lins, and it's going to be brutal, no form, and violent. That's exactly what the fuck Jake Paul wants for his Netflix promotion. And I hope the Netflix promotion does well because it's exactly what the UFC needs as far as competition goes. UFC for far too long has underpaid their fighters, made shit cards because no one else can do anything about it. And maybe if this card is successful, they can continue with it and actually become a serious competitor to the UFC, which is exactly what they need. I support the UFC. I love the UFC, but it needs some form of competition if it wants to continue to grow because they're just steady going at the pace where they're giving fighters 10 for 10 and shit like that. Like I feel like a starting contract in UFC like especially with the Paramount deal signing should be like 30 for 30 or 50 for 50 And I know there's a bunch of fucking UFC shills out there who are like rolling their eyes like, oh, that's so unrealistic, but it's really not because the UFC pays. Whatever. That's another video for later. But Francis Ngannou, slime out first round. Might take him to the second if he's patient Francis. But Felipe is gonna get slimed out here. It's gonna be a bad showing from Francis if he doesn't. Saladin Parnasse, very good fighter versus Kenneth Cross. Both these guys are really, really good actually. They're up and coming prospects. They're both pretty young. I think Parnasse is UFC material. I think Kenneth Cross is right there, but Parnasse is disgusting on the fucking feet, dude. He's really, really fucking nasty. And he's really, really fucking good. I gotta give credit where credit's due, and I gotta take Parnasse. He'll probably get UD. This is third round. Yeah, this is a 3 round fight, so I got Parnasse by decision. Might get the like later round knockout or something like that, maybe, but well, I guess we'll see. But I got Parnasse either way here. JDS. Hopefully I do well. I'm going to be keeping track of all these, and I'm going to do a video after all these events. I'm going to keep track of what exactly my picks were and see how well I did. Um, Last time for UFC 328, I got 72% prediction rate, so hopefully we can keep something up like that or maybe higher. JDS is probably, yeah, I got JDS here by smudge, grappling, skill differential. Rebellious to Spain just has dog shit grappling. Heavy favorite. What? Heavy favorite and a moderate underdog. That's crazy. JDS is like UFC level competition. Rebellious to Spain, his grappling's dog shit. I don't believe these odds whatsoever. Do the odds makers know something that I don't? Maybe he's injured, but either way, JDS has way better wrestling, and Rebellious to Spain just doesn't have any. Maybe Rebellious to Spain can maybe like flying knee KO him, but I just don't see that fucking happening at all. Like it's just like JDS has been in the cage, even though he's old, he'll probably still see it coming. He'll probably know what he's got to do. I feel like JDS is getting really underestimated there. I got JDS by like UD or some shit. Yeah, I might go to UD for JDS there. All right, these are some no-namers. We gotta kind of skim through these a little bit. This dude's like a wannabe Jake Paul. He and all of his profile pictures. I even got him right here. Let's see if I can find it. There's some actually pretty decent fights on here that we're gonna take a look at, but I'm trying to find this guy right here because he has a really funny picture. Oh, there he is. He's like a wannabe Jake Paul. Like, if you ever seen Jake Paul's pictures whenever he fights, he looks just fucking like this. Okay, moving on. Uh, he he's got good striking. I'm gonna take Fazil on this. What are the odds? I'm just curious. Moderately favored, yeah. That's kind of about right. Yeah, this is Jake Paul's boy right here. He's good, but he's from the Middle East, and he's good against the U.S. guy. I'm gonna go be rooting for Jake Fabian, and you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna go for him. I think he can get it here. I think he's got better striking and everything like that. Adriano Moraes versus Fumi Nakata. I think Adriano Moraes is gonna get it done here. He had a good fight with DJ, and that says a lot because DJ is very, very skilled. And this is a championship bout for the Netflix promotion, I guess. Or he says he's number one and he's holding a belt, but this is for number one contender matchup, I suppose. Yeah, I got Adriano Moraes here. He's really, really fucking good. Very underrated. Probably a heavy underdog. I mean, probably a heavy favorite. Uh, let's see. It's not pulling up the odds for this one. Adriano Moraes, probably third round KO. Second round KO, actually. Jason Jackson versus Jeff Cretin. Both these guys are also really good. I'm going to take Jason Jackson here. All right, this is where they're kind of bums. Eileen Pereira, Alex Pereira's sister, 2-2. They know what they're doing here. This girl's going to get slimed out, probably. Um, Definitely going to get slimed out. Brandon Jenkins is going to take this, and David Miyagin is going to fight this. May not take this. Moving on to the real shit. Sean Bannon, they knew what they were doing with this fight. Killari's going to get it here, but Sean Bannon's not bad, man. and she's hot. Please, for the love of God, let Shauna Bannon win. But Nicole Corrali is probably just going to smudge her to a decision. And that's exactly what she's going to do, actually. Nicole Corrali, UD. Easy. Danielle Perez versus Louis Garul. Perez has got better striking, in my opinion. Garul is tougher and grittier. Perez has no chin. It's going to be a flyweight. A little skill fest. Garul takes it here via the unanimous. Man, I can't fucking talk today. Unanimous decision. Pauliana Viana versus Alice Ordelane. Ordelane is looking way better. Polly Viana fucking sucks. People like Polly Viana because she's kind of hot and she doesn't look exactly like a man. Like, look at this bitch right here. She looks like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West. So I'm gonna take Alice right here because Polly Viana is just an overrated looks maxer in the UFC division because UFC fans love any woman that doesn't immediately look like a man. Petrosky versus Brundage. I don't know why the odds are that. Brundage is like mid-level bum. He's not complete bum. Like he's not a total bum. He just has no fucking dog in him and doesn't give a shit. And he's not a slouch on the ground here. Andre Petrosky. This is actually a pretty tough fight to pick. I'm not trusting Cody Brundage, bro. You can never trust Cody Brundage to get anything done, man. Andre Petrosky is gonna get it done probably by like I see third round like ground and pound TKO type of thing. You know, Cody Brundage just getting frustrated on the ground, kind of gives up, and Petrosky's landing big shots, TKOs it against the cage on the ground. Yeah, that's my official pick. Second or third round. Oops. Fuck. This is a banger right here. We're gonna have to observe that one in great detail. For those who don't know about the Tuco Tacos fight coming up. Damn it. Fucking UFC website's bugging out. Okay. Caitlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Cavallanti. I'm a Caitlin Vieira believer. God, look at that. But look at this girl. Just look. I'm betting on her strictly via the width of her shoulders. This girl is not bad, but I don't care. Look at this shoulder width. She's mogging this girl right here. Caitlin Vieira is gonna fucking win this shit by brutal split decision. Probably gonna be jiggling at range a little bit. Yeah, I got her via brutal fucking split decision. Gonna make this girl retire off a split. Tommy Gant versus Artur Minev. Tommy Gant has really fucking good boxing. Is really good. And I've seen this guy fight a little bit. He looks like he cracks easy. Doesn't have the best boxing defense. Tommy Gant's got disgusting fucking boxing. And I like him here. I think this is a good matchup for him. And I think Tommy Gant takes this pretty easily via UD. Maybe UD. Maybe UD, maybe third round. This is the hardcore matchup though. This is the one I've been waiting. Real ones know. This is the fight I've been waiting to talk about. Tuco Tacos is going to be the man. He retired the Tafa brothers, bro. He's going to be the man to take out Tommy Aspinall, and I think he's going to KO Alex Pereira too. For sheer taco power, he gets it done here via first round knockout. He's gonna knock this guy on the. He's an underdog. I don't care, bro. He's gonna knock out Ivan Erslan in the fucking first round. I believe in Tuco Tacos, the taco train. That's crazy that it's still calling him Chaos Williams. Didn't Chaos Williams get slimed out like just not too long ago? Sorry. Let me look up his record again. No, he got Darst and he got UD crazy, and then he got sent to the Apex. Caleb, or it's not Caleb Williams. It's Chaos, but his actual name isn't really Chaos Williams. It's just something he calls himself, even though it's because it's catchy. But he's not that good of a fighter. And I think they're giving him a layup win, but it's this Kazakhstan guy. And look at this guy, bro. This guy is going to beat the shit out of this guy. These Kazakhstan fighters, I believe, are built different. This guy is just coming off the prelims, I'm pretty sure. Um, Let me make sure. He's coming off a knockout win against like Nico Price. No, he's fought in the UFC. He had he's had some losses and some wins. He's a mid UFC fighter. Ugh, this is the battle of the mid welterweights. These guys don't belong in welterweights of Shark Tank. I'm gonna go with Nikolov Ventritnikov. Oh yeah, Ventritnikov. I've heard of him. Duh. It's always it takes me a moment to register when you read their fucking names on the screen for a second. I'm gonna go with Ventritnikov here. Timby Kuamba versus Bernardo Sopaj. Sapaj is up and coming. He's young, Albanian versus kind of a soy bantamweight Timmy Cubana. Bernardo Sapaj has good boxing. I'm not gonna pretend what or I know. I don't know who these fucking people are. I'm a hardcore UFC fan, but like, who the fuck are these people? This fucking fight night, man. Modestas Bakauskas versus Christian Edwards. Yeah, but Bukowskis is Bukowskis is actually a force. Bukowskis is actually really really good, and he's probably gonna slime this guy out via head kick KO. I'm probably gonna go with that head kick KO second round for Bukowskis here. One of them missed weight too, so it's catch weight, not that weight. This one's interesting. I got Malcolm Wellmaker here, but Juan Diaz is he's not a slouch. He's got good boxing, but I think Wellmaker is gonna do Juan Diaz like fucking Ateba Gautier did Ozzy Diaz. This is pretty much Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz too. And it's funny because this dude has the same last name. It should just be Ozzy Diaz versus Ateba Gautier too here. Malcolm Wellmaker is still disgusting. He just got skill diffed by Ethan Ewing, who ended up being a fucking phenom at bantamweight and actually is a very very big talent, being like a top five, top 10 contender pretty soon. So there's no shame in that loss, and I believe in Malcolm Woolmaker, and I think he's going to get it done here via second round KO. Probably first, honestly. That'd be crazy if he got it in the first. But I'm going to say he's going to play patient because he's coming off that loss, and he's going to get it done via second round KO. This is a banger right here. Doo Ho Choi, the underdog pick, versus Daniel Santos. I got Doo Ho Choi here. Doo Ho Choi recently has came out looking really sharp, really fast hands, mixing in takedowns, just looking good all around. And Daniel Santos is really good as well. That's why he's the favorite here. But his boxing is good. But Doo Ho Choi, I think he's really looking to bounce back. He's a little bit older now, but that's okay because yeah, Doo Ho Choi, I think is going to get it done. I've watched both their fights. Doo Ho Choi looks faster. His takedowns look sharper, especially in his last three fights or two fights. The only thing with this is that he's just not active enough. I wish I saw more of him in like recent. But from what I've seen in his last few fights, if he comes out with that same hand speed and aggression and confidence in his counters, he can piece Daniel Santos up because Daniel Santos has good boxing and kickboxing, and also he's very well rounded as well. But I think Duho's Joys just looks sharper everywhere. And finally, the main fucking event. You see, these three fights right here are really actually really good. Duho Choi, this is such a tough pick because Duho Choi's been knocked out before. I want to go back and talk about this some more. Duho Choi's been knocked out before, and I really want to get this pick right. And I'm just going to trust him here, but Daniel Santos does have a lot of power, and it's a little scary to me. But I feel like Duho Choi can get it done. And he's always a fucking underdog anyway. I remember in his last fight he was one too. I got that pick right. I didn't have the channel at the time, but Mel Quizil Costa versus Arnold Allen. There's a lot to say here. So Costa I've been watching for a long time, and Arnold Allen I've been both. I've been both watching these fighters for a long time, and I'm glad I get to talk about this fight because it's pretty interesting. Costa is good, and he's improving, and he's young. We're actually going to look at these stats here if we compare these stats because I want to see how old they are. Sorry about that. I had to correct my cat. How old is fucking? Let me see. Where's my phone? I wanted to see how old Costa was because I think he's only like 28, 29. He's 29. He's a little bit younger than Arnold Allen. I think Arnold Allen's 31. But here's the thing. Arnold Allen's one of those weird fighters where he's overrated but also super underrated at the same time. Like hardcore fans overrate him a little bit, in my opinion. And I think he's top five, top six in the featherweight division. I think he could beat Mavzar. I mean, not Mavzar. I think he did beat Mavzar. I'm just gonna say that now. I think he beat Mavzar Evloev. I think he can beat Lerone Murphy. I think he lost to Max Holloway convincingly. He loses to Volk, and he lost to Gene Silva, but he had a really close fight with Gene Silva. And he also had a really close fight against Mavzar Evloev. And those are people, and he probably have a really close fight with Aljamain Sterling as well. I think he beats Aljamain Sterling, and I think he would also beat, or he did beat Movsar Evloev in my opinion, but Evloev just gets lucky as fuck. And every time I watch an Evloev fight, he always wins by like the closest decision ever. God, I fucking hate Monzo Arnold. Arnold Allen here is going to get done against Costa because Costa's inconsistent. He's putting his striking together, but Arnold Allen's not going to give him the pace in the room. Arnold Allen's going to push a pace with his boxing, be more fundamental, have better head movement, watch out for this stuff. And every time Melquizel Costa goes in for a kick or something, I see Arnold Allen going for like a crafty sweep, something like that, being too technical for him, keeping up on the feet. He's going to be able to take some damage unless Melquizel Costa hits him with some crazy shit and comes out looking super, super sharp, Arnold Allen's going to give it to him. Melquizel Costa needs to come, or Costa, I'm just going to say his fucking last name. Costa needs to come out looking the best he ever did in his career if he has one chance to win this fight. Because Arnold Allen just looks super sharp every time that he fights. He just fights the highest level competition. And I want to say I believe in him because he's going to get it done here, probably 4-1. He might knock him out in the later rounds. I could see a later round knockout from Arnold Allen too. I haven't quite decided yet because I'm thinking about it right now. And he's coming off that loss to Gene Silva, but he beat Giga Chizikadze and they lost to Max Holloway and Lazar Evloev. He was piecing up, jobbers before that, aside from maybe Calvin Cater, which that one didn't age well. This is a tough one. Costa's always been a jobber, though, dude. He's kind of been, down in the rankings, and then he's coming into his prime now. So maybe we see an end prime Costa, and he looks super sharp here. But I'm gonna go with the safe pick here and say Arnold Allen gets it done via UD split decision UD, and I believe in him because yeah, I've watched their fights. Arnold Allen's got a deeper tool bag, which is saying a lot because Costa's got some crazy shit on the feet, but Arnold Allen does too. And he's able to mix it up really well. He's going to be stronger here. Like, look how much bigger as far as frame than Melquizel Costa. Melquizel Costa is a little taller, but still, you can tell how much wider and bigger and more muscular Arnold Allen is. And he's going to probably be able to ragdoll Costa if he is able to get his arms locked around him. And I just really can't see Costa coming out with it and looking like he did in his previous fights. Because even Dan Ige was kind of putting hands on him at one point and getting his arms wrapped, and he's pushing a pace on him. And then, Costa finds range and pieces him up and then manages to time a spinning back kick to the face, which, Dan Ige kind of ducked into. And yeah, Arnold Allen's going to get it done. But hey, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. MMA Messiah here. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing pretty good on these predictions here. I'm starting to slow down the pace a little bit, let my personality come in a little bit more, talk a little slower. But I wanted to get these two predictions out. I saw MMA Guru did a video where he posted both of them at the same time. I was like, damn, I had that fucking idea first. And he did it. And I was like, well, I guess it was a good idea then to do that. But be sure to check out the rest of the channel, man, or folks, Messiah Knights, whatever you want to call yourself. And have a nice night. See you guys after the fight. I'll be making some more videos soon.